Hello world, what is going on? It's good to see you back here for another video, and today we'll be looking at the second exercise of Codility lesson 2, odd occurrences in array, where we will be using a data structure called map or dictionary in Python that we will use to store all the values that we will be iterating over in the array to avoid a O(n)² solution. That is the naive approach for this exercise. So let's see how to do that and let's get at it. Okay, so as always, we'll get into the Codility Programmers lesson 2, and we're gonna go ahead and click the occurrences in array exercise. And we're gonna read it to see what it is all about. So it says, a non-empty array consisting of n integers is given. The array contains an odd number of elements, and each element of the array can be paired with another element that has the same value, except for one element that is left unpaired. For example, in array A such that it has 9, 3, 9, 3, 9, 7 and 9, the elements of index 0 and 2 have value 9, 1 and 3 value 3, 4 and 6 value 6, and the element at index 5 has value 7 and is unpaired. So write a function that, given an array A consisting of n integers fulfilling the above conditions, returns the value of the unpaired element. For example, in the array A given above, the function should return 7 as explained in the example above. So they're telling us here, write an efficient algorithm for the following assumptions. N is an odd integer within the range 1 to 1 million. So this is important to analyze, especially when they are asking us to write an efficient algorithm and they give us these conditions, that we should take the worst case scenario that n is 1 million. So if we are trying to make a solution that would work on n², in this case it wouldn't work, it wouldn't pass because it's not efficient. As a general rule of thumb, we should be aspiring to have solutions that are at most at the range of 1 to 10 to the 8. That would run in a couple of seconds in any modern computer. So if we check this upper limit, this upper bound, this is 10 to the 6, and if we run an n² solution, that would be 10 to the 6 to the 2, that would be 10 to the 12, that's way bigger than 10 to the 8. So that solution wouldn't run and would give us time limit exceeded. Each element of array A is an integer within the range 1 to 1 billion. So this is telling us that if we're trying to do some kind of addition or store some kind of sum, that would probably be a very large number that couldn't be handled in most of programming languages in the integer variable, because it usually handles between 32 and 64 bits for each number. All but one of the values in A occur an even number of times. That means that there's only one value that can be paired. So first I want to show you how we are going to solve this with a simple example, actually the example in the exercise. So the idea to solve this is that we're going to create a dictionary, and we're going to iterate over the array, and we're going to add each element that is not in the dictionary already. We're going to set it to 1 as we're finding it for the first time, and we're going to subtract 1 if it's already in the dictionary, because that means that it's already paired with an occurrence that has already been iterated over in the array. And if it's paired, we're just going to put it to 0, and if it's 0, we're going to remove it from the dictionary. So the idea of this is that at the end of the iteration of the array, we're going to be left with a dictionary that only has one element, which is the unpaired element. So if we look at the example, we're going to see that for the first element we set it to 1, the second element we set it to 3, and the third element, since it's already in the dictionary, we're going to subtract 1, and therefore because it is 0, we're going to delete it from the dictionary. Then the same goes for the next element, that is 3. We add a 9 because it's not in the dictionary. We add a 7 because it's not in the dictionary. And for the last element, we subtract 1 and remove it because it's 0 now. And as we can see, at the end of our iteration, we are left with only one pair of key value elements. That's the 7 that has only one occurrence that is not paired at the end of the iteration of the array. So that is going to be our solution. So now let's go ahead and implement this into code. So we are back at the Codility page. We're gonna go ahead and start this test. Okay, so we're gonna hit start the test. We're going to select Python. Just delete this stuff. And we're going to implement what we just saw in the example. So first we need to define our dictionary, which will start at empty. We'll need to iterate over our array. So here we're going to need to get the value in each position, which will be a at I, and we're going to check first if the value is not in the array, sorry, not in the map. Then we're going to set it like this. We're going to set it to 1 since we're finding it. If it's already in the map, we're going to subtract 1 from it. Then we're going to delete it if it's 0. So if our map at value is 0, then we want to delete it. And at last, we're only going to be left with only 1 pair of key value in the map or in the dictionary. So we're going to check for it. So for key in oddmap, and we're just going to return that key. We'll just return none, and that's it. Let's check if this works. I'm going to run the code. Error connection. And it seems to be working, so let's go ahead and submit the task. Okay, so our response just arrived. We have a task score of 100 and a correctness score of 100. We can see here that our time complexity is ON, as we designed it to be. And for big examples with n close to 1,000,000, it just works fine, under a second, which is pretty good. Okay, so that was it for our exercise of today. As you can see, using a dictionary, we can store values to avoid making the naive approach, which is taking one element and comparing it with all the previous elements, which would take a lot of time and unnecessary time, since those values have already been read. And this will save us a lot of time, pretty much the square time of the length of the array, and it will make our solution run in the specified time. So that's it for today's video. If you like the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone if you think it would be valuable for them. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.